I'd like to tell you about the aspects of wheelchair mobility test. We've looked at some other measures. We looked at the wheelchair components questionnaire, which answers, is it broken? The wheelchair interface questionnaire, which gives a wheelchair professional a voice to say if it's appropriate for the user. The wheelchair satisfaction questionnaire, which gives the wheelchair user a voice to say are they satisfied with it. And now we want to ask if it actually rolls in common environments of use. We've called it the aspects of wheelchair mobility test because obviously our short outcomes measure, which is intended to be able to be completed in a timely way, doesn't cover every possible environment of use. We're just asking, does it roll well on commonly encountered environments of use? It's available for free download with its instructions. Unlike the other ones, which are just questionnaires, this one has a data collection aspect where you're actually doing a 4-minute timed roll test on a measured track. So it requires setting up a measured track and measuring the distance someone rolls in 4 minutes. And then it also has a questionnaire aspect where you get a follow-up question from the user. So there's a smooth track, there's a tight spaces track, which is 4 chairs placed along a wall at a certain distance apart and from the wall, and a rough track. And because this one is intended to be used in a repeated measures way, where you're comparing the person to themselves to reduce the impact of individual variation, you can do it on the same rough track. So they'd roll in one wheelchair type and then another. And that works well. You can get some feedback. In fact, some studies have indicated that watching a person use a chair and getting feedback from them is one of the most important aspects of making certain a chair is prescribed correctly. So you can do that in a natural rough surface. Or if you're doing a bigger study and you want to use a describable rough surface, we've developed modular rough surface units based on a description of how rough a surface is and how you can make a model of that from studies at Pittsburgh. That's available. The directions to make that are available online. Here is the very simple data collection sheets. And as you can see, we've just asked for participant ID and track length, number of laps, additional distance, and total meters. So you do need a long measuring tape or a survey wheel to measure how far they rolled. You measure the track and then you measure how much further they go. And then you get a question where you're going to ask the user how hard it is. Rate moving on a rough surface, and they'll rate it and give you a comment. Rate moving on a smooth surface and in tight spaces. So that's basically what you're going to do. Each roll test is 4 minutes, and then while they're resting before the next one, you get them to answer the question, and you wait till their heart rate has returned to their original non-exercise heart rate before doing the next one. And if you're going to compare different chairs, it's good to give them time between the chairs so they're not more tired. This shows the power of the repeated measures or within subjects, where you have a group of people rolling in a Hope Haven Kid Chair, APDK chair. The very strong ones went like blazes and went a long ways in both chairs, but they went less far in the APDK chair. Same with the weaker ones. They didn't go very far, but less far in the APDK chair. So data that would have been obscured or not showing if you had just taken data is made clear because it's been done in a way that it reduces the impact of individual variation. So repeated measures ANOVA reduces the impact of individual variation. Here's another study where the secondary students we were working with at Joytown in Thika rolled in 4 types of wheelchairs over a period of a couple of weeks. And you can see that there's their ratings for these 4 people and these 4 wheelchairs. And here's the distance they traveled. Here's some comments that would explain why they thought it was hard. We were able to give feedback with a similar study to the Hope Haven Kid Chair. And one thing they noticed that it tended to get stuck on rough surfaces. That sparked the development of the B-Line wheelchair, which is 3-wheeled and easier to roll on rough surfaces. Here are 5 studies. Again, this has been validated, construct validity and test-retest reliability, and it's been used in studies that indicate its high discriminatory validity. So we hope you'll find these tools used singly or altogether helpful in your practice, both in larger studies and especially to support evidence-based data that will facilitate the replacement or repair necessary for a wheelchair user. The wheelchair components questionnaire, is it broken? The wheelchair interface questionnaire, is it appropriate for the current user? The wheelchair satisfaction questionnaire, are the wheelchair users satisfied with it? And the aspects of wheelchair mobility tests, does it roll well? These studies have sparked positive change. Here's some of the different wheelchairs we've had in our programs. The publications and conference presentations are available at our website, www.atcatalyst.org, under resources. And it's also sparked program development with our partners in Kenya. Our goal is to enable improved wheelchair provision. We hope you enjoy using these tools. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. Contact is available through our website.